You lovelies loved this eye so much that here I am making a YouTube long form tutorial on it for you. Let's dive right in. My phone is currently so full to the max that this will not be done on 4K. I'm so sorry, but you will get the gist, okay? This is Makeup by Mario's Ethereal Eyes. It's the OG palette. It is gorgeous, it is stunning, it is 10 out of 10. Wonderful. All the shades that I feel like you would want and need for every day, for glam. It's useful for everything. First, we're going to take a very fluffy brush. This is the Morphe number M33.5 eye blender, and we're going to go in this neutral shade, and we're going to take this across the whole lid. Excuse the cars outside. And I want to try to do this video without cuts, so that you can see actually like everything that actually happens. I feel like that's much more beneficial than cutting, because what's the point of going to a long form tutorial if you can't see everything that the person is doing? So if I'm applying makeup, you're gonna see it. I ain't cutting it. So now that we have this shade all along the lid and under the eye, I even like to take it down the nose a little bit. Might even do a little on the lip. I think that the more areas that a color appears on the face, the more natural it's going to look overall. Now we're just gonna go from light to dark. That's essentially all we're doing. So I'm gonna go to the next darkest shade from this shade, which was this. And I'm gonna start working this up and into the crease. Like so, and we're just still using this very fluffy brush. We're blending it out and around the eye and up into the brow a little bit. We just don't want any harsh lines right here, so be careful of that. But you always just want to make sure that you're blending out everything really well. There's no lines anywhere. I'm gonna go back in, but I'm gonna dip just the side of the brush, just so that the side gets coated, and then I'm gonna take that and make sure it's brushing on to the lash line just below it. We're not taking it really far down under the eye. Making sure to connect it on the outside of the eye, like so. Also, just be mindful of your eye shape. Maybe pulling this color up into the brow is gonna look too heavy and dark and close off your eyes too much, you know? So just keep in mind what might work for you, what might look better for you, a shape that might look better for you. Maybe you elongate the eye more. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly how I'm doing it. Do what's best for your eye shape. Now we're gonna go in with this shade here. This is gonna be our deepest shade. And I just wanna work this in. And I'm gonna try to contain this color to just in my crease and barely above. And I'm gonna go in with a denser brush to really take that into the crease and create some depth in the crease. I'm also gonna take it just on the corner of the brush like we did earlier. And I'm gonna work that into the lash line, but I'm gonna keep it towards here to here, towards the outside of the eye. I'm not gonna take it all the way in. I wanna keep that nice and deep towards the outside of the eye, like so. Like so. I'm gonna use the Morphe M303.5 brush, and now I'm just gonna go in with this same shade, and I'm gonna make this a little darker, containing it to my crease, like so. See there? I just want it to be very, not very, but I want a lot of smokiness in the crease. As you can see in the look that he did, it is a deeper, darker brown in the crease. And last time I used this like this brush that came to more of a point to do this, and I do think that is much more helpful than this. This is still a little bit too wide, but I can't find that brush right now, so I'm just gonna keep just stippling this so lightly into the crease to deepen that up. Like so. Maybe even a little deeper. I think I'm gonna go in with this. This is gonna be super intense because the payoff is amazing. So if it is, you can just stipple it on the back of your hand so that you don't go straight onto the eye with the crazy amount of payoff. You can control how much you put onto the eye by putting it on your hand first. And I'm gonna take mine out a little bit further because I sort of like this shape. And when I want to blend it out, I just use this brush, but I press so lightly. Just so very light. And then I'll go back in with this brush. I will take some of the product off of my hand, or put it on my hand like this, and I'll take this fluffy brush and I will go in there and blend this out so it looks very seamless. Little finger, like so. Let me catch up this eye. Do you see how there's a gap in between this dark shadow and my lash line? You definitely don't want that. You can work the shadow into your lash line so there's no gaps between your shadow and your lash line. So it will look. All right, and in the video, I didn't start with the deepest shade first. I'm gonna start with the deepest shade first of this shimmery shade. And you're just gonna work this. I work it with my finger because shimmery shades always tend to apply better. You get more payoff with your fingers. And we're just gonna work that into this deep darkness that we've built over here, just like into the crease, like so. You can just sort of use your finger. I'm not pressing super hard. I'm pressing so lightly so that there isn't crazy blocks of color and separation, like so. And then we're just gonna work our way from the deepest glitters to the lightest. I actually avoided this gold. It looks like he used more of the silver, cooler tones in this. And now I'm just gonna start with this one. And I'm gonna work its way. I'm gonna apply the most of it here. I'm gonna start here, so the most product dispersed or dispensed is going to be in the middle of my eye. And then I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna work it around so that it blends into this brown. And I might take a clean finger and then blend the two together right here on the side of the eye. Then I'm gonna go in with this shade. And I'm gonna work this towards the middle or the inner part of the eye. And most of this glitter is going to be below the crease. It is not gonna come up into the brow or up to the brow bone. So we're just gonna work this. This is sort of a sheer eyeshadow. You might have to apply it over and over to get the payoff that it shows on that photo. If you wet your finger and go in, it will really pay off. So I might just do that. This beautiful lightest shade, I'm going in the inner corner like so, and I'm really gonna work that and get that to be super bright. I'm gonna wet my finger a little bit, and then I'm gonna go in, and the payoff is going to be incredible when I do that. And that's what we want. We want this very glittery, very much popping in the inner corner to mid-eye. I'm gonna add a little bit more brown over here, Just sort of working it in, blending. Wow, my fingers are so rough from rock climbing. And I'm gonna take this Morphe brush and I'm gonna blend, blend, blend until this is seamless over here. I also feel like it's deeper under the eye than I have it done here. So I'm just gonna go in and add a little bit more deepness. Over here. If you get glitter all over, don't fret, okay? Do not fret. All you need is a spoolie, and you're just gonna go in and rub this so lightly, and it will remove any glitter where you don't want it to be so easily. Like so. I think that you definitely want this to be clean. Sorry, I'm not looking here, but the position on the camera, I'm over here. So you're just gonna go in, you're gonna make sure that this is clean on the bottom. I think if the glitter comes down, like, who cares, honestly, whatever. But if you want it to look really like glam and put together, I would make sure that the glitter is cleaned up underneath and it just comes from here to there. So then I went in with a brown, or a deep dark brown, almost like a black, artist color pencil in shade Dimensional Dark Brown. I love this shade, it's so gorgeous. The only thing that I don't like about this is that it doesn't have a lot of staying power, so so it can bleed down. So if you're doing something like a wedding outside or dancing the night away, this might not be the product for you. You just want to find something that is this sort of color, you know, this beautiful, deep, chocolatey color. It's not going to be black on the eye. It is going to be this sort of brown color. Can you use black? Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. I'm sure it would look gorgeous with black as well, but we're gonna go and we're gonna work this sort of into the lashes and on the waterline, and then we're gonna go on the waterline. You do not want to bring it down onto the skin here. You want to keep it on the waterline. I'm gonna sharpen my pencil so that it comes to a point. The more it comes to the point, I think the easier it is to put it on your waterline. You just sort of pull the eye down and you press so lightly. You do not have to press hard with this pencil. And you press so lightly. And then you're gonna go right here on the waterline, not up on the lid, on the waterline, just to give a pop to this inner corner. And then I put it on the outside of the eye, just about here. And then you can connect the two. If you wanted to create a little wing, go for it. I think it would look cute. Why not? Do whatever you feel you want to do, and then try not to poke yourself in the eye. It's very hard. And I'm sort of working it into my lashes because I think it gets a little like smoked out, little grungy on the bottom, and I love that. I think grungy is like all the moment right now. So I'm gonna go in with a little brush. If you feel your eyes watering, just stop. Give them a minute. You don't want them to wash your makeup away, so do not keep going. You're gonna go with the brush. And I just like to grunge out this outer corner. And I think it's so cute. And if you can't get it perfectly blended, like, who cares? I think this is a gorgeous, like, grungy smokiness sort of eye. It's not like a cut crease. It'll be okay. It'll be okay, I promise. Outside of the eye. Connected to the bottom. like so, and that's what's gonna create that pop to this eye. As you can see, it's so good. Because I brushed out this outer corner, I'm just gonna go back in and make sure that that deep brown is still popping. Now the moment is the sparkles on this eye, but I am gonna go in with brown mascara. I suggest brown mascara. I think it's a brown look. I think the mascara is gonna, it's gotta be brown, but you can do black. You can do black, just like the liner. You know, if you use a black liner, maybe you wanna do black mascara. That's all good. I'm gonna go in, and when I get to the lash line, I'm gonna wiggle and sort of blink into my wand, and that's gonna get the product into the lash line to help look like I've created and drawn in a full eyeliner, but I haven't. It's gonna make the illusion of that with this mascara. This is Cali Ray's Come Hell or High Water mascara in their new brown shade in Espresso, and it is a tubing mascara. If you love a tubing mascara, I've been using this for the past like 6 months or something, and I love it. I think it's great. And you're gonna go in on the top. I usually do my lashes first, but I didn't, and I regret it because I can't really get them perfectly set where I want them and perfectly spaced out with my eyeshadow already in my eye. It's hard. It's very, very hard. I could get these so full if I didn't have eyeshadow on. Okay, I think it's supposed to also have like more of a delicate lash. This is definitely not, it's too much. But anyways, we're gonna go on the bottom, but we're not gonna coat them a lot like that. You just want a little tiny bit, like I'm barely touching my lashes, and that is plenty enough. That's even too much. It kind of like brought the eye down. You see how it created this shape instead of more of like the feline shape? So just be so delicate in placing it. It can get heavy really, really quick. Like, let me show you on this side. You probably want to do a more delicate lash, you know, just like a almost barely there would be a more like editorial high-end lash, would be something so barely there, like this. See how this is too much. This is just enough. So maybe you can decide. Whatever you prefer is great. I have NARS Soft Matte. This is their Soft Matte Complete Concealer in shade 2.2. This is a little light for me, but I just go back in afterwards and sort of clean it up a little bit. See how light that is? It's way too light for me, but I make it work by going in with blush afterwards. And I can just help fix that shape a little bit with this. And I'm not gonna take this all the way up under my eye. I just want to correct any of the eyeshadow that maybe I took too low on the face. And lift the eye. As you can see there, I kind of get elongated and lifted the whole face by doing this. And that is what we're going for. I'm just gonna blend this out. It's not as intense. And then we'll go in with some blush. Make sure that when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, make sure that you're also in evenly lit light, because if you're not, then this side will appear darker than this side or vice versa, and you won't really know what anything looks like. So now I have Rhodes Pocket Blush in shade Sleepy Girl, like so. And I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm not sure brush this is, but it's dual-ended. And I'm just gonna go in and start tapping this into the face. And you want to apply this where you know it works best on your face. Maybe one night you could stay in and play and do different placements of blush to find out what works best for you. Or you find someone online that does makeup who has a similar face shape as you and see how they're applying their blush so that you can find a good placement. But what works for me obviously may not work best for you. But there is techniques that, you know, like this. Apply the blush to the back of your hand first and then work it into your brush and then on your face so you can control where it goes, how much, and it's also just going to blend into the face more evenly than just having applied it straight to the face. Like those are universal, those work for everybody, but as far as placement goes, you might want to find someone that has a very similar face shape to you. Sometimes I don't bring my blush back, and I think I need to. And I like to bring it a little up here, like, you know, where you would naturally get a little color to the face. I think it's very, very cute. You can even a little on the neck, little shoulders. Learned that from Makeup by Kellyanne. She has an amazing app. If you don't know who Makeup by Kellyanne is, she's a celebrity makeup artist, and she has an app where she teaches so many things about makeup. It's incredible. If you love long form makeup tutorials, you can find them, so many of them there. When I'm applying my blush, what I'm looking for is to create a base, and then I go back in and I keep it in a central area, and then I like to create a pop of color on the apple of my cheek. And it's almost like I applied 2 shades of blush, but I didn't. I just layered them in a way so that the color would pop more on one specific spot. But it's gonna give me depth to my face that we all naturally have. We all naturally have more than 1 shade of blush on our face. So if you make it appear like you do have more than 1 shade of blush on your face, the more natural it will look. I'm gonna set this with a more pink blush. This is Cali Ray's Magic Hour Setting Powder in shade Dawn. And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna put a little in the back of my hand. I'm gonna start at my nose and then work my way up to the eye. And then my forehead. Like so. And then the rest of my face. I'm gonna put a little bit of Sleepy Girl on my lip. And I'm gonna put KJH, their lip prism in shade Mirage. Excuse the raven out my window. And I'm gonna put it in the center of my lip. I'm gonna use my finger to blend it out. You're looking to do this on the lip line, and then you're blending just slightly down onto the lip and just barely over. I'm taking it in the corners. Oh my gosh, the raven is going crazy out there. I don't even know if you guys will be able to hear that, but there's a raven and it's going crazy. It's going buck wild outside. love these KJH lippies. They have been in the works for so long. I'm so glad they're finally out. And I know Katie's my really good friend, but I really do just absolutely love these. I reach for every color. Not even joking. Not even joking. One thing, because I'm crazy and I totally forgot, but we're real tutorials here. I still have some mascara on my lid. If you have the same problem, don't fret. Don't fret. But Tube mascara, this will help even. It'll help it even more. Okay, so you have a little mascara on your lid. You're gonna take a little spoolie and you're just gonna so lightly remove the mascara with the spoolie. Didn't have a lot, just enough. You might have to go back in and add a little bit more glitter back to where you took some of it off. But that's a super easy way to get the mascara off your lid. Don't fret. And that's it. I applied just a little bit more blush and this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I gave you the long form tutorial that you were hoping for. I am so incredibly new to YouTube and long form tutorials, so please give me any tips, tricks, information that you might want to know more of that I didn't touch base on. Anything helps, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Bye.